So now that I'm here in Spain, I'm getting to compare Italian life or Italian food and society or culture to Spanish culture, at least in the south. Well, for both. And the food is similar but different. I'm currently in a town in the south of Spain that's way smaller than Sorrento. Like if Sorrento was small, this is tiny. And the it's not as not as wealthy as obviously Sorrento. So the quality, there's a bit of a drop off in quality, in at least in this town specifically. But the people are very similar. They're probably I would say they're more open and they're more familial here than in Sorrento. Maybe that's just because Sorrento was more of a touristy town, but I would say this is definitely a more familial place. I got to catch up with some friends from other years, and we went and played soccer at a school nearby. Now that school's out, and that was a lot of fun. And I met tons of new people that I didn't know before, but it was like I'd been there forever. I was always part of the group, and that was similar to how in Sorrento you'd meet people and you'd most of the time instantly become good friends and have fun and chat. Um, I'm also most of the time I'm eating at home, and that's because my grandma likes to cook and she's cooking, and she's Roman. But she doesn't cook like traditional Italian foods or any of that. She just cooks. She'll cook meat and she'll have salad, and I don't even remember if we had spaghetti at all while we've been here. But it's even though she's Italian, we're not having Italian food. But it's still good. It's good. Homemade cooking de la nonna is always going to be good, which is similar to in Italy, how, or at least in the south of Italy, how the grandma uh, has her own recipes and she cooks, and it's always good. Also, I there's a similarity for this town specifically, or well, some in some places in the south of Spain, but in this town specifically, there's like three families. Families are they're not mafias, but they're like so it's similar to how the Camorra, because I've been doing researching the Camorra, how they get people in places of power in politics and whatnot locally, and they use that to their advantage. Either they help each other out or whatnot because they have an inside person that's giving them like access to industries, or they'll ask for grants and then use part of the money to do something that they actually said that they were going to do, and half of the money they take. So here, these families, what they do is for the elections, the election like for the mayor, the local elections are always rigged. There's always people that are dead voting somehow. Um, there's there's always people that'll because it's a small town. Most there's a lot of people that are from in these like families, even though they're not like mafia-esque. They're similar in the way that they'll get somebody to be elected mayor. They'll ask the EU for a grant to make the beach walk more accessible. So they'll add a new section or revamp or redo a section of the tiles, and then they'll get the money. They'll take half of it and spend it on the actual thing, and because they're only spending half of the money, it'll only be half as good, and then it'll be useless because then when it's used, it's low quality and it sucks. But then the other half of the money they take and it just disappears. Or when they'll contract in companies to do something in the town, sometimes they'll contract people from outside of the town. So taking money away from the town and giving it to people outside the town. And not only that, it's most of the time it's well, all of the time it's there's somehow a connection to the mayor or the family or something. So that's a that was an interesting similarity that I saw after going to Italy and now that I'm here after researching the Camorra.